The courtroom buzzed with anticipation as the case of United States v. Leavitt commenced. Karoline Leavitt, the youngest White House press secretary in history, stood accused of contempt of court for allegedly defying a subpoena issued by Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett. The charges stemmed from Leavitt's refusal to disclose confidential communications related to a high-profile case involving national security. As the proceedings began, the atmosphere was tense, with media outlets and political analysts closely monitoring the developments. Justice Barrett, presiding over the case, addressed the court with a stern demeanor. She outlined the allegations against Leavitt, emphasizing the importance of upholding the rule of law and the authority of the judiciary. Barrett's remarks underscored the gravity of the situation, suggesting that Leavitt's actions posed a threat to the integrity of the legal system. The courtroom fell silent as the implications of the charges sank in. Leavitt, representing herself, rose to deliver her defense. With poise and confidence, she began by asserting her deep respect for the judiciary and the principles it upholds. She argued that her refusal to comply with the subpoena was not an act of defiance but a principled stand to protect the confidentiality of sensitive communications that, if disclosed, could compromise national security. Leavitt emphasized that her actions were guided by a commitment to the greater good and the protection of the nation's interests. Drawing upon her background in politics and communication, Leavitt presented a well-structured argument, citing legal precedents and constitutional provisions that supported her position. She referenced cases where executive privilege and national security concerns warranted the withholding of certain information from judicial proceedings. Leavitt's articulation of these complex legal concepts demonstrated a profound understanding of the law, leaving many in the courtroom impressed by her acumen. Justice Barrett listened intently, her expression gradually shifting from sternness to contemplation. Leavitt's defense challenged the initial perception of her actions as mere insubordination. Instead, it painted a picture of a conscientious public servant grappling with the difficult balance between transparency and security. Barrett acknowledged the complexity of the issues at hand and the validity of the concerns raised by Leavitt. The prosecution, taken aback by Leavitt's compelling defense, attempted to counter her arguments by emphasizing the necessity of judicial authority and the potential dangers of setting a precedent that allows individuals to unilaterally decide which court orders to follow. However, Leavitt rebutted by highlighting the safeguards in place to prevent abuse of such discretion and reiterated the unique circumstances that justified her actions in this particular case. As the proceedings continued, legal experts and commentators began to weigh in, noting the sophistication of Leavitt's legal reasoning and her adept handling of the courtroom dynamics. Some remarked that her performance rivaled that of seasoned attorneys, a testament to her intellect and preparation. The public discourse shifted, with many questioning whether the charges against her were warranted or if they represented an overreach by the judiciary. Justice Barrett called for a recess to deliberate on the arguments presented. During this time, discussions erupted across media platforms, with debates centering on the balance between judicial authority and executive confidentiality. Leavitt's case became a focal point for broader conversations about the separation of powers and the responsibilities of public officials in safeguarding national interests. Upon reconvening, Justice Barrett addressed the courtroom, acknowledging the strength of Leavitt's defense and the legitimacy of her concerns. She expressed a newfound appreciation for the complexities involved in cases where legal obligations intersect with national security considerations. Barrett announced her decision to dismiss the charges, citing the compelling arguments and the absence of malicious intent on Leavitt's part. The courtroom erupted in a mix of relief and admiration. Leavitt's vindication was seen not only as a personal triumph but also as a reaffirmation of the importance of critical thinking and ethical judgment in public service. Justice Barrett commended Leavitt for her articulate defense and her commitment to the principles she believed in, acknowledging that the case had provided valuable insights into the challenges faced by public officials. In the aftermath of the trial, Leavitt's reputation soared. She was lauded for her courage, intellect, and integrity. Her handling of the case became a case study in law schools and a topic of discussion among legal professionals. Leavitt continued to serve as White House press secretary, her experience further enriching her contributions to public discourse and policy. The case also prompted introspection within the judiciary, leading to discussions about the need for clearer guidelines when dealing with conflicts between judicial orders and national security concerns. Justice Barrett advocated for the establishment of protocols to navigate such complex situations, emphasizing the importance of collaboration and mutual respect among the branches of government. Leavitt's experience underscored the significance of legal literacy and the value of diverse perspectives in governance. Her ability to navigate the legal system with such proficiency challenged stereotypes and inspired a new generation of public servants to pursue excellence and uphold ethical standards. Her story became emblematic of the power of informed advocacy and principled leadership. In reflection, the case of United States v. Leavitt served as a pivotal moment in the ongoing dialogue about the interplay between law, ethics, and national security. It highlighted the necessity of critical examination of authority and the courage to stand by one's convictions. Leavitt's journey from defendant to exemplar demonstrated that true leadership often involves challenging the status quo in pursuit of justice and the greater good.